A bubble butt. A bubble butt. A bubble butt. I got the bubble butt. A bubble butt. I got the bubble butt. Bubble butt. Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I'm Morrow, and this is Mary, our special guest, coming back to Tales Tomorrow to read some RPG horror stories. Where you've been, Mary? Can you tell us? Can you tell the audience, the viewers, where have you been?
I was in a place that was dark, damp, wet, cramped. I was inside Morrow's ass.
What? I don't know how to respond to that. I'm literally breaking weird. Character. I have no idea how to respond to that. Let's get to the first story of the day. Where did that come from?
I don't know. It's just like where'd you come from? I was something weird.
Yeah, I came from Morrow's ass.
I thought we were talking about ass before.
Oh
so
my god. DM and players gave me crap about playing as a human. I was looking around on some LRG things and had a DM reach out to me about playing in a homebrew one-shot taking place in Silvery Moon. I joined the Discord and we started character creation. Figure I had never played a cleric before, so I pitched a character I had in my back pocket for a while. DM seemed to be into it. When we had session 0 and all of us were introducing our characters, one of our players, Alan Sorcerer, asked, "So you playing D&D and you choose to play as a human? Oh, Mary, how about you voice some of the other characters? How about we do that?"
Oh god.
Oh, you voice the main protagonist. Voice the main protagonist. I'll be the narrator, you the voice.
Yeah, why not?
Other party members started chuckling. It's just funny that the party is made up of fantasy races, then there's just you. Then the first combat came around, and the elves that were attacking us took particular interest in me. And the remarks while attacking me made it clear I was not because I was a healer. Oi, we got a normie here. Spill his guts.
My faith in my lady will incinerate your street trash.
Oh, the human thinks he's hot. After the fight and a few cure wound spells, the party treated me like a kid trying to help. Eventually in character, I asked,
"What's your problem with humans?"
"Oh, don't take it personally. You can't help it if you're just born mundane." I could see that bullying was going to be a common theme, but I decided not to retaliate. After the session, I asked everybody that didn't dip out of the call immediately if me playing a human was an issue. It's just boring, you know?
Well, maybe if you all took the time to get to know him like you did each other, maybe you wouldn't think so.
I doubt it. Humans can't do a whole lot in 5e. I just bid him farewell and said I'd see him next week and left the call. I don't know how to approach the DM about this because I'm the outsider of the group and they're all friends with each other. So here we have a story about somebody joining in brand new to the game or brand new to the specific player group in particular. Maybe not the game in general, but they decide they want to make a human. And I suppose some digging in here and there can be normal. Let's say, for example, if you have like, I don't know, dwarves and elves, you know, usually they have a little bit of camaraderie of being kind of a little bit, you know, a little bit jabby to each other, but usually it's in good jest. It depends on the kind of people. Though we have seen stories where people actually bully each other like in-game and out-game. I don't think this is a case of bullying per se. I think they're just kind of used to everything not be human, and maybe that's the kind of game they're playing. I don't know. What do you think, Mary?
I mean, if it's just like, it was just one session, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was just one session.
Multiple. If it was just a one session, I think it's just, I guess they were just joking around and stuff. But if it's like continuous, then I would say talk to them. But if you did have like issue or didn't like it, just at least mention it. Even if they are friends and that. If it is making you uncomfortable and it's not making it fun to play, definitely say something. Don't just keep it to yourself. Otherwise, it's going to make it more awkward if you do join back for another session and the same thing does happen. Maybe it is just joking around and stuff and they don't realize how serious it is, and if they do end up saying like dumb stuff, just find another group. Like, it's not worth it.
The one thing I will point out though is your DM did target you specifically, not just because you're a cleric, but specifically because you're a human, which, I mean, all well and good. Let's say, for example, you've ran into some racist elves that don't like humans or whatever. Fantasy racism kind of, you know, can exist without being over the top. However, if that becomes a problem every single session, like every group of enemies specifically targets you, the beasts and creatures always target you, the monstrosities target you, the elves, the dwarves, the orcs, the whatever, they always target you because you're human, then that's player targeting. If that gets to that kind of extent, to that kind of point, then of course, yeah, you probably should have a talk with your DM and stuff, just make sure that you aren't being targeted for the sake of choosing the race that you wanted to play for your character, because that's silly at the end of the day. I understand if there's some prejudice, like, you know, how some tieflings are not to be trusted by some people. Hell, me as a tiefling, I don't even trust some tieflings myself personally. For Morrow's history and stuff, I'm not the first one to jump into it. Mary just hates people in general. She loves animals, but doesn't trust people in general at all. Everybody has their own weird quirks. As long as it doesn't become like a destructive pattern that makes the game unpleasant for you, I think it's okay if a character comes in and has a little bit of like, you know, a little bit of like difficult meshing, because maybe eventually characters can become friends and stuff. Ultimately, I don't think any of the players have any problem with humans. They just say they're kind of boring, and I guess they are. I mean, it really depends on kind of rules you're playing, whether it's the new 2025 or the previous ones where very inhuman, standard human. I think humans are just fine. I think nothing wrong with humans. I just like tieflings, Mary likes A tier, but nothing wrong with humans. Play whatever you want to play. Hopefully it's not a targeting thing, and hopefully it can work out by the next session. If it does become worse, then obviously it's not a game you want to play with. Let's get to the next story for today. I'm going to ERP with a minor. Context. Roleplay group based off a show. Exactly, yeah. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. So, number one, do not do that. Let's continue. Roleplay group based off a show with some other characters and new plot lines adding in. There's roleplay of a social media site, which is safe for work. There's also a Discord server, which is safe for work section, and locked not safe for work section that minors and people who have not verified their adults cannot see. Someone joins a prominent pre-established character. All good and cool. Let into the Discord. Mods vet them, and everyone seems above board. We learn this guy ships his characters with another one from the show. Nothing wrong with that. A minor, about 17, does happen to play that adult canon character in the server. People are allowed to ship with that character on our server as long as both parties are comfortable with it. It stays PG, and sex is not involved. New guy. I like to ERP with canon character roleplayed by IRL minor. Oh, he's played by player who is a minor. You can't do that. I'll just do it in the DMs. Nope, gone. The guy's banned immediately after not even a week on the server. He deleted his account on the social media site too. Good riddance. At least he made his evil known relatively quickly. Maybe someday I'll tell the story of a guy who had his talents and everything in so deep he was there for months, manipulating people, main character syndrome, character bleed, bullying and abusing. Latest canon character like a hyper Gooner dirty old man, but that's a story for another day.
Hyper Gooner dirty old man.
If at some point, I don't care if you're a role-playing group or teach RPG or whatever, if the roleplay overtakes what is going on in the front, like, oh, I just really want an ERP in character, the person on the other side is underage, I don't care, I guess I'll take it to the DMs then. No, that's no, that's how you get on those like YouTube channels that like catch like PDF files and stuff. Like, have you seen those? An entertaining watch on occasion, but also a sick, disgusting watch. Anyway, don't do that. RP is not that important, and ERP is not that important to land you in jail or prison, and especially leave the kids alone, please. I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to goon around with somebody and roleplay, like roleplay loot talk, you can always find somebody else to do that. You don't have to do it in a specific, like just in general. There's places to do it without doing something, well, illegal out there, so don't do that. What are your thoughts, Mary? I need that Mary wisdom. Give me that Mary wisdom.
Don't touch kids.
Truer, wiser words have never been spoken. She has spoken. It has been decreed into law. Don't touch kids. Anyway, let's get to the next story for today. The Gooner DM's NPC fiddle-diddled my, at the time, dead barbarian player character. I don't think I'm still, even the good year of 2026, I'm still not allowed to say no words, because YouTube will get me in trouble and stuff. That's a problem, unfortunately. I played my first fully length D&D campaign fresh out of high school with a group of friends. The game was run by a less than savory Gooner of a DM with a toxic habit of making everything painfully over-sexual, ignoring boundaries, and trying to push romance onto anything with a pulse, both in-game and out. It's worth noting that this was nearly a decade ago, and she has not yet transitioned to a woman. Her identifying as male to female is largely unimportant to this story, but I feel provides important context, as I am a woman who had barely turned 18 at the beginning of our campaign. I'll obviously continue to use the DM's proper she/her pronouns, even though this was not her identity at the time of this event. Male, female, don't matter. Everybody can be gooners. The thing is though, if you're gonna be a gooner, people don't know this, but Mary is a gooner too. You need to know how to goon responsibly. How to not be, I know, your secret's revealed. Oh no, secret's revealed. People around Morrow are gooners as well. Morrow is a big perv. Everybody's also pervs.
Gooner? What does that mean? What do you mean? What have I done to goon? Tell me, go on.
Excuse me, I've seen YouTube recommendation. Yuri and upon Yuri, excuse me.
Let me know that it is not Mary. That's me, but not Mary.
Sorry, character bleed. But I mean, like, I just like within our friend group and stuff, I guess you could say perverts, lewd people. Yeah, lewd people, I guess you could say. But like, there's a difference between being lewd constantly all the time and just being lewd and know how to control yourself. The thing is, it's self-control and self-respect and respect of others. When you have that, then you can have the best of both worlds. You can like lewd things, but still be like a regular functioning human being or a tiefling and satyr. When your whole personality just becomes Gooner obsessed, that's when I feel like it just ruins it completely. What are your thoughts on Gooner culture, Mary? Tell us, share us with us your infinite wisdom. What?
Yo, we've got perverts in our campaign. It's like...
Okay, not
so,
perverts.
It was so aggressive. I was like, oh my god.
Okay, not perverts, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like, we don't mind like a little bit of adult humor in here and there, and maybe some, I'm not gonna air out everybody's dirty laundry and stuff, but we got people that are okay with the lewd stuff, lewd joke here and there. Oh, succulentia, succubi are hot and stuff, but they keep it in their pants. They know how to keep it in their pants. That's what I'm trying to say.
The way you said it, we have perverts in us.
Okay, yeah, maybe that was a little bit aggressive. Maybe we don't have perverts everywhere, but we have people that differentiate between lewd, wholesome, and keep it, separate, without making the whole personality. We have perverts.
That should be our campaign logo.
we have perverts
in here. Come join.
I was an incredibly insecure people pleaser and let a lot of slide that I should have. DM had a very obvious crush on my barbarian PC, who was your typical big, buff, golden retriever of a man. And to the unofficial DMPC, a Warforged robot who immediately had the hots for the barbarian, brought on immediate discomfort. DM wasted no time with her hypersexual jokes towards the barbarian, awkwardly forced romance encounters, and campaign railroading just to give the barbarian and the robot plot lines while sidelining the other two PCs in our campaign completely. I also believe the DM got more and more desperate, and therefore more persistent. When Barbarian began to fall for the other PC in a party, the Rogue, which thank god honestly that ship was endgame, this inspiration led to a worst RP interaction I've ever had, hands down. Yeah, if your DM seriously just railroads the entire campaign just with some sort of a romantic fling that you're not even interested in, nobody finds interesting whatsoever, yeah, that's definitely a problem because that takes away from the plot of everybody being involved. I get some people can have their own little arcs, like if you have a Mary arc, she gets to do stuff specifically, obviously it makes sense, everybody's joining in along to help her out. But if the whole arc is towards this romance ship that nobody but the DM cares for, well then, I mean, that's bad, because if nobody's invested, then what's the point of even having it? It's like a filler in an anime that doesn't matter and what makes sense whatsoever. It's non-canon. So what's the point of really having it aside from having a hot beach episode or just for the sake of hot beach episode? Not that I don't mind beach episodes whatsoever. I think they're cool and all, but I kind of appreciate them more when they're in canon, But in this situation, it sounds like you're not interested in it. The other players aren't interested. The only person that's really into it is right now is the DM because they really gotta get this romance going. They really gotta get the romance rocks off for some reason. Completely unprompted, the robot confided in my barbarian that his metal body was technically unfinished. Of course, the missing part of the robot was his penis.
Okay.
Of course. Yes, that is the most important part. Guys, we need to have a story arc where the Warforged gets the penis back. Of course.
I don't even know what to say that, to be fair.
Why would you do that to your players? Of all the story arcs you could have had, you decided, hey, you know what the story needs right now? Not another arc for the rogue or the cleric or barbarian meeting like the long lost family member? No, we need to find the robo penis. This is so stupid. I really hope somebody spoke up in this moment and said, hey DM, we're really not interested now. Can we get back to the plot, please? The robot then asked the barbarian if he would whip his own human dick out so that the robot could draw it right then and there to model his metal one after. I can't imagine this being said at the table with a straight face. How do you say that out loud without bursting out laughing from the absurdity or like being shocked in horror? Is my DM actually telling me to do this right now on session for my character just whip out their ding dong right in front of them? What? I can't imagine having the attack of pain just be a little derailed just with some sort of like a Gooner bait basically, because that's basically what it is. It's Gooner bait. It's trying to like flirt up with character, be like, hey, my character doesn't have a PP, but if you whip out yours, I could draw it and model it to see what it looks like and get the flirt on. There's better things you could be doing for a session. Like if, let's say for example, this was the game you're playing where that was the plot, then that'd be one thing, but this isn't that. This is just a regular ass game that people want to play, and suddenly I don't know, a DM just wants to be so Gooner bait completely and so obsessed with it. I genuinely don't get why some DMs get like that. They think they can just bring the fetishes into D&D and just force everything down everyone's throats, including the Robopene, apparently. If you want to play that kind of game, look for games out there. Advertise those games to play with a specific group of people. Don't just force your fetishes into this game. Don't bring your fetishes to D&D and force it down everyone's throats. I don't care how much you like a Robopene or whatever you like. I don't care what kind of bobs and bits you like and what sort of things you prefer. Don't bring your fetishes to D&D. I vaguely remember the robot saying something about the barbarian being a nice specimen. The barbarian told the robot that was super weird and uncomfortable. I absolutely denied the requesting character, but I really should have slammed on brakes and quit the campaign right there. For whatever reason, I felt I had to play along. It got worse. Remember, people, no D&D is better than bad D&D. It's a great lesson that works in every capacity, because at the end of the day, instead of playing like a really bad game, you could be spending time looking for a different game, or hell, do anything at all. Mary, what sort of things would you suggest people to do aside from playing bad D&D?
Goon. Sorry, I'll do it properly. If I was in a campaign like this, I would either have left it by now, because it definitely sounds very uncomfortable. And like, I'm not a fan of getting forced into stuff that seems very like, I don't know, it's very creepy.
It is creepy. I mean, don't be afraid to say it. It's creepy. What the DM is doing is indeed creepy.
I would rather, like, if they knew it was going to be like this and stuff like that, that's fine. And if they knew what they were getting into, if they didn't and they're just thrown in the dark, it's not good. At least warn them about it first. Like, hey, I'm going to do something really unhinged. They'd be like, okay, how unhinged? Very like, okay, so at least they're bracing for it. But even then, it's like, I don't know. It's like, just wash your mouth with soap. Go wash your mouth with soap. Go
wash your mouth with soap, you nasty.
Go play something comfy. Yeah, Stardew Valley. Go make a new farm. Go get comfy.
At the end of the day, your time is better spent doing literally anything else than playing someone else's fetish game. Session ended with a planned TPK that went off without giving us a shot to fight back, or even roll initiative, supposedly to quote-unquote advance the plot. Yeah, let's force a robo-penis on everybody, and now we have a forced TPK to advance the plot. Players are gonna love this. Man, this DM is 2 for 2 for bad decisions. What are they gonna do? Put in the super awesome main character Mary Sue, Gary Sue, DMPC next that saves the day? The robo-penis saves the day! The robo-penis cast Revivify! And the party came to, we're being tended to by the goddamn robot who've been tending to our necrotic, rotting PC bodies for the 6 years in game. As we as players were trying to come on terms with this, the robot gleefully proclaimed that during his years of tending to our corpses, he had become very familiar with barbarians' member and modeled himself a peen to match. Very cool and normal interaction to have with your friends during D&D. This is the time to just like, just if imagine you're sitting at a table, right? You just go, right. And you walk away. Just walk away. Don't have to make a comment. Don't have to excuse yourself. This is the perfect time to just walk out of this disaster clown show. It's a disaster clown show run by a Gooner DM that strips us about making a fetish happen and making things run their way instead of what the players want to do and how players want to play. It's a DM that wants to have you guys as a captured audience instead of playing with you guys. You're there just as audience members to watch the weird fetish flick. And that's about it. No interaction, no agency. No nothing. We as a party basically told the robot to screw right off and never came back, in no uncertain terms. We should have said it to the DM herself. I wish I had been smart enough to realize the DM was who she was, and had called her out on her BS way earlier. still play with the other 2 players from that table, one of which is often the DM, as an incredibly talented storyteller and role player. Thank goodness I have absolutely awesome group that would never pull that buffoonery. And that's a beautiful lesson to... Let me try that again.
That's a beautiful lesson.
Listen, what I'm trying to say is, this is a lesson in no D&D is better than bad D&D, and your time is way better spent looking for other games or having somebody else DM and stuff. Like, yeah, it's unfortunate you had to be in this DM's fetish game, but I'm glad you guys stayed together and you're having somebody else DMing for you as well. Maybe your other friend in the party will want to also DM. Maybe you'll try DMing yourself. Either way, sorry you had such a negative experience, but at least you learned lesson of no D&D is better than bad D&D, and always speak up no matter what. If the DM or other players are doing something bad, don't keep silent to yourself, call that stuff out, because putting it out, nothing is better than to sanitize everything with a nice burst of light, spotlight, daylight, whatever. When you sanitize stuff by putting spotlight on it, it helps cleanse things off much easier and helps address the issue. Anyway, words of wisdom from me to you is no D&D is better than bad D&D. Any words of wisdom from you, Mary?
Stay away from Robopeen.
Stay away from Robopeen. It's bad for you. Thank you, Mary. And that's a wrap. That's all the stories for today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stories for today. Thanks so much to Mary for being our surprise host for today. Mary, do you have any other final words before the video ends to the people?
Keep cheese in your top drawer and eat it when you cry.
Hopefully you don't have to cry this year. I wish you guys nothing but smiles and everything. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye!